Joining me for more updates now is TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde is live in our Abuja studio. It does seem the president is going ahead with this bill, irrespective of the call by the National Economic Council to have it withdrawn. Walk us through the kind of consultation we saw happen before these four bills were transmitted to the National Assembly.
Well, hi, Nifemi. These four tax reform bills is an executive bill introduced by President Bola Tinubu and sent to the National Assembly. And all of this is also based on recommendations from the chairman of FRS and that Presidential Committee on Tax Reforms inaugurated by President Bola Tinubu, headed by Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. Yes, headed by Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. So all of this is just, part of President Bola Tinubu's economic reform plans to, overhaul the country's tax operations and tax administration, and, further simplify and harmonize the tax administration in the country to make it easy for, businesses who are overburdened by, these tax obligations to be able to thrive and also make profit while meeting some of these obligations. Well, when it was introduced to the National Assembly, the northern governors, raised concerns over certain clauses in the bill, and it appears as if, they could also get the buy-in of the National Economic Council, whose constitutional position is just advisory, which they did yesterday. What President Bola Tinubu is saying now is, this is not cast on stone, that they should engage the National Assembly. The bill will pass through the first reading, through the second reading, and then there will also be a public hearing. In that process, they can make their inputs. They have representatives from different states in the National Assembly, and they can also prevail on them to ensure that the part of the bill that they do not like can be adjusted, to put into consideration the interest of their people, which they are saying that as it stands right now, the bill may make some parts of the north or some parts of Nigeria disadvantaged because of that derivation-based tax in the clause of that derivation-based tax in the bill. Nifemi.
Well, I'm sure Nigerians are now anticipating to see how these bills will fare at the National Assembly, especially with the reservations expressed by the governors. But it seems the consultation the presidency is talking about will now happen within the window of public hearing. Are there other windows to explore for that consultations?
Well, before that bill is brought up for first reading, there will be lobbying on the floor of the National Assembly. We expect the state governors to engage with their representatives, the senators, House of Rep members from the northern region. We expect them to engage with them, and then we expect to see the result of this lobbying, on the floor of the National Assembly when this bill is brought up at plenary. A lot when it's considered clause by clause. A lot of them we expect will raise objections to some of those clauses which the northern governors have identified as being as saying it would be a disadvantage to the north. We expect them to raise objections to that and also make some recommendations in modifying those clauses to suit the purpose for which it was intended. And of course, there's also second reading. If it survives first reading, there will be second reading and then public hearing, where it would be a broader spectrum of stakeholders that will now be involved in giving their own input into how this bill should be shaped and formed. Nifemi.
State House correspondent Femi Akonde live for us in Abuja. Thank you for your input.